Hi, everyone, and thanks for stopping back to check out this video and its content. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, mainly for the ladies in the crowd. I know I had someone corrected me and said, you really can't call them girls because I think I referred to them as girls at one point. And she said, no, we're women. And I said, well, okay, I think that kind of just makes you older than you should be. And I'm sure there's a little girl there inside of you that's going, will you shut up? We're a little girl too, remember. Anyway, hey, I wanted to talk about some things, and one of the things I want to talk about is relationships, okay? And I had somebody also ask me and said to me, I really need your help with my relationship. And I'm thinking, oh boy, I'm on the hook. But the fact that they're asking, I know they're serious. And so, of course, I'm going to do everything I can to help, or at least give them my opinion, what I think I might know, which is more than just being dangerous. Okay. So she says to me, she said, this guy, I haven't seen this guy for a year now. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to find out if we're like, there's even a possibility for us, and what are we to each other, And he acts like my boyfriend. I'll be with him for 3 days, solid, day and night, 3 days, and everything seems so great. I mean, we have a great conversation. The physical connection is there, or at least I think it is. And then, out of nowhere, he just ghosts me. No text, no phone calls, nothing. Okay? Just zero explanation. And maybe I'll get a random text a few weeks later, late at night, the classic, you up? It's so gross, and this just keeps happening repeatedly. So, am I the common denominators here, or denominator here? My friends and family all tell me how amazing I am, and how any man would be so lucky to date me. But how can that be true if nothing ever turns into a real relationship? I really need your help, and with my relationship. And that happens to be someone named Kathy. And none of the Kathys that I know, except for this casual person. Excuse me. Actually, the guy she hasn't seen for a year now. Want to find out what we are like to each other, right? That's what she wants to do. He acts like my boyfriend. He stays almost every weekend. This is somebody different now, okay? We hang out like all the time. We have so much fun when we're together. But he won't take things to the next level or even talk about the future. He's never called me as his girlfriend or introduced me to his family. He knows I want more. I want more from him. But he's not in the same place I am. But every time I try to move on, he says he can't be without me. He cares about me too much. I really care about you, he'll say. Do I spend more time and hope that he'll finally be ready to commit soon? And then, okay, all right. I know, now here's another case. I love my boyfriend, and I know he loves me. And even though I see myself with him forever, there's this part of me that's afraid that if I'm giving up on something important to me to be with him, I'm afraid to do that. I want to get married. I got a hair by my eye. I want to get married and have kids more than anything. But every time I bring it up, he gets uncomfortable. And he changes the subject, or we get in a fight. And I keep telling myself, he'll come around. But deep down, I'm terrified. What if he doesn't come around? We're in our 30s. Okay, this is a younger person, obviously. Sometimes I think about ending it, but then I look around and the idea of being single again is just depressing. What if I leave him and end up unhappy? What about the next guy? Is there a next guy? Or what if I don't even find anyone? Look, there's no excuse. What these women are dealing with is messed up. Okay, it just is. And like so many other smart, amazing, totally together women out there, you can remember a time when you experienced one, if not all, of these messed up situations in your own dating life. I think we all have. Ooh, baby. It's no wonder why sometimes feels like today's dating world is hopeless. And listen, I want you to know that it's not your fault. It really is not your fault. Okay? You'll probably be surprised in a moment when I tell you whose fault it is. The secret to standing out from the beginning as the woman who men can see themselves with forever, so that you can escape the casual trap and get the lasting, loving commitment you deserve. And not just with anyone, but with an incredible man who values you, invests in you, and never, ever wants to let you go. But first, if it feels to you like this moment is the worst time in history of the world to find and keep a committed, connected relationship that lasts, of course, you're not nuts. You're not crazy. No. Okay, so what's going on here? Is commitment dead? And if you're at a point in your life where you want to know about something deeper beyond just casual hookups, and that's what you always dreamed of, sharing a romantic life with your ultimate soulmate, is there any hope for you to find the happiness you deserve? Okay, the short, itty-bitty answer on that is yes. You can absolutely find a loving partner you have always dreamed of. Sadly, today's dating world is like a bubbling pit of dysfunctional quicksand. Oh, baby. And most of us are being pulled to the bottom. It's happening to women and men everywhere. But the scariest part of, instead of going down kicking and screaming, most people are completely oblivious that they're stuck in the quicksand until it's too late to escape. Happens, But why aren't we seeing this dark force that's pulling us under? Because it's all around us. It's the culture that's been created today. Dating has evolved into a fast food culture of empty hookups with no nutritional value. Physically, we may occasionally be getting that closeness we crave. Occasionally. And maybe in like little doses, kind of like breadcrumbs. Some people are really good at throwing you breadcrumbs. Oh, yeah. But not our souls. Our souls don't get fed and are starving for the real connection or a real connection. Some say technology's to blame. The irony, though, is even though social media and dating apps promise constant connection, we've become more disconnected from others and ourselves than ever before. We've been lured into putting so much effort into curating our two-dimensional image on a screen, photoshopping ourselves into airbrushed avatars. These avatars, I even got sucked in and had to do one for myself on, I don't know, one of the other modalities, Instagram or something. But we've forgotten that most quality connection of all happens in 3 dimensions. Truly, it does. You know, are they eating it up? So convenient. Aren't they so convenient? We think we don't ever need to leave the house to find love anymore. And there's so much choice. But as we're wiping away on our phones and swiping from left to right, we forget that we're rejecting real human beings. And all of that supposed choice leaves us with a constant nagging sense of bomo. Okay, a new acronym for you. Okay, the fear of missing out. So the more we crave connection, the more elusive it becomes. I'm sure you've noticed that despite how much we're told, relationships are available to us pretty much anywhere. Not always going to happen and happen for the better, but they can be available. You know, they seem harder to find than ever these days. The chasm between what we are experiencing and widening every day. Every day we feel unhappy, we feel anxious, we feel alone. So this is why when a guy comes along that you feel a glimmer of connection with, you may jump at the chance to see where it leads. You know, where's it going to take you? On dates? You get intimate? Maybe a little sooner than you planned. But you want to keep him interested. Excuse me. And if you didn't, somebody else would, right? I mean, it's how we think. After all, he's talking to 10 other people right now, and he could have another date tonight with this swipe of a finger. So you try to be fun and carefree about your new connection. Oh, baby. So what if there's no label to it? You tell yourself, does it matter that we never actually talk about what this is? They don't want to talk about what you have. They don't. Even when you try to push it, they don't want to talk about it. At least I have something, they say. You say. And for a while, it's fun. He's someone you can tell your friends about when you're trading stories. He's someone you can go to the movies with when he's not busy with something else or someone else. Yeah, it's a lot of fun until it isn't anymore. Because here's what culture starts to mess things up. Today's culture tells us we should all just be cool with being casual. Hey, it's casual. Take it easy. You want to know where things are headed with a guy you're sleeping with. I still have this haircut going. I hate that. Did you ever get that? You feel like you got hair all over your face? I don't get that as much anymore. Okay? Leave it alone. It's an old joke with a couple of partners on the PD. But anyway, old joke. You want to know where things are headed with the guy. You just want to know, and you're entitled. And I mean, you're sleeping with this guy, right? Wow, is that asking too much? But deep down, you want to know more than this. You feel yourself falling for him. You don't want him calling you drunk at 11 o'clock at night. That's PM for you people out there that go AM and PMs. After a week of not hearing from the guy, asking if he can come over. You dream of him calling you after work and asking you, how was your day, baby? And then coming over to cook a romantic dinner, maybe, together. You want to build on your connection together and create a real relationship. And for the record, there is nothing wrong with wanting a real relationship. In fact, you deserve it. You deserve a real heart, fluttering, passionately, deliriously happy, romantic, committed relationship that lasts forever. Just like quicksand. The more you fight it, the quicker it was going to pull you under. But now that you understand that this casual quicksand dating culture isn't serving you, I'm going to show you how you can rise above it and create your own culture. You see, you don't have to have the power to change how the entire world behaves, but you can change your world, which in turn will transform the men who come into it and the way they treat you. It will transform them. And once that happens, you can build the most beautiful, committed, lasting relationship with the man of your dreams. I know you're thinking, yeah, baby, yeah, that's exactly what I've been missing. But how exactly am I going to do this? But first, take my hand, because it's time to leave that quicksand behind forever. And now, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you get the relationship of your dreams, too. Now, if you would start dating about a decade ago, I mean, if we go back the 10-year factor, you probably remember back then, excuse me, it's not COVID, okay? Knock that off, too, all right? No sheep. I don't want to talk to any sheep today. Now, if you were dating about a decade ago, you probably remember that back then, most of the popular advice out there actually taught women not to approach men. And that's what it was. Oh my God, you're going to walk up to a guy? What are you going to say? He's going to think you're some trash, or you're like easy, or you're a fast woman. Okay, you were expected to remember a bunch of rules, play games, and ignore what you really wanted while wishing and hoping for a man to choose you. Well, I know you were waiting for that, and I know that's something that we all do. But you want to try and start a conversation and spark an attraction with the kind of man or a man that you want, while making him think that it's all his idea in the first place. And some of the women did really well at that. And some of the women today really do well at doing that. You know, they end up meeting amazing guys and more dates than they know what to do with. You know, thousands of women, I mean, they find their dream relationships, get engaged, and even get married for the first, second, third, maybe even a fourth time. So, I mean, don't just shrug it off. But there weren't the getting committed, lasting relationships that they wanted. You know, some of them. Not all of them, some of them. They were meeting guys who only wanted something casual. And that's girls and women, for the ones that want to be called women. Okay, let me tell you something. You know, I mean, when you meet a guy, when he's looking at you, within a couple of minutes, okay, he knows what you look like naked. Okay, I'm sorry if that is somebody between the eyes, but it's so true, because it's who we are. You know, we're physical. We have desire, hopefully, because if you don't have desire, nothing's going to happen. I mean, as he's talking to you, his eyes are going to be roaming and roving all over, looking at who else is in the game. So, you know, don't settle for something casual that you know is just going to stay casual and may never, ever, ever go anywhere but casual. Don't do that, okay? Because when you do end up with someone and sleeping with them, okay, you create a spiritual connection with them too. And that, my pretty ladies, my pretty girls, and my pretty women, that never goes away, okay? Just something to think about. So, many girls get committed to a man who didn't value them or treat them in the way that they deserve to be treated, or locked them into a long-term relationship with someone who clearly had different goals when it came to marriage or children or even a long-term loving relationship. I knew that there was something deeper going on once women had that attraction and connection with the right man. As I explained, let me tell you about, and this is a good one, this one you want to remember, okay? Girls, if you take anything, women, if you take anything from this video, let it be this, okay? This is about the castle, okay? Yeah, castle, okay? There was a woman that I met. She said, "You gotta help me. I am obsessed with this guy. I'm so in love with him. He's so perfect for me. We have such a great time together." I said, "Well, wow, it sounds like you kind of got everything, don't you?" And she said, "Well, he's in a relationship." Oh my God, roll my eyes, right? So you didn't see it. And I said, "Okay, all right." Now, to be fair to this woman, she wasn't trying to break him and his girlfriend up. And she was basically asking me, how do I get over this guy? Okay, now I want everybody to raise their hands that are listening to this that are, have been, or possibly going to be, and I hope that's not the case, the third one, in a similar situation. Okay, raise your hands. How about those ladies in the second and third back row from the wall? Yeah, you know who you are. Don't hide from me. Anyway, how do I stop feeling so much? How do I stop the feeling for this person who's not giving me what I want? Right? This is what the question is. I think of chemistry and connection, which is the thing we all overvalue as two people coming together. Okay, kind of in a, let's call it like, excuse me, a plot of land. Okay, so now you've got this plot of land, and this plot of land's got, it's got a lot of potential. Okay, maybe it's on a hillside, maybe it's next to a lake, maybe it's got a beautiful forest view. It's an amazing place to build. Now it's still just a plot of land, right? That's really all it is. Now what you need is two people, two builders, okay, to build something on the plot of land. Your relationship, okay? Get it? Okay, so you need two people who are willing to construct the castle. For some of you, you can call it Camelot. I would call it Camelot in a heartbeat. I sure would. Okay, but, it takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes investment. Oh, you better believe it does. And it takes two people who really want to do it. And as you build this castle, it becomes more and more beautiful. It becomes more and more yours. There's secret passageways nobody else knows about, rooms, places in that castle that are beautiful, that are created over time. The weather starts to erode the stone, and beautiful and unique ways happen that make the castle unlike any other castle ever in the world, because it's yours. You can't build a castle on your own. Sweetie, you can't do it. Okay? And I see people everywhere right now. That woman, she's talking about this guy and thinking about him and investing in him, right? The same way you are right now. I think that hair that was in my eye or on my cheek somehow went into my throat, and I apologize. And I could apologize profusely, but we'll leave it alone. Okay. So the woman that was talking about this guy and thinking about him and investing in him, but the same way you are right now, you are. And here's what that is. You are on a plot of land hammering away, and you're doing it on your own. Meanwhile, there's some builder, some guy out there, or some girl out there who's gone AWOL on you. Everybody knows what that is, right? AWOL. Didn't come back, didn't show up, isn't showing up, who's not even there. And when a guy sends a text and says, like 6 weeks later, one of my favorites, thinking of you, and he's barely been around. That's the equivalent of a builder calling into the construction site going, hey, how's that castle going? Let me know when you're still there. You're still there, aren't you? Building the castle. It doesn't work like that. People have to start valuing the castle over the connection. You gotta value the castle over the connection. You just do. Because the connection, you can always find again. But a castle that's worth building something, no. You can only get by finding a genuine builder. You really got to have a builder, a partner. You don't have a builder, you just have a connection. And that's going to get you nowhere, sweetie. It's really not. The fact that you end up sleeping together, don't always think it's a connection, okay? Just a heads up. You see, I realized that too many women were standing on an empty plot of land. And that is holding onto a connection. They're holding onto a connection with no builder in order to help a woman go from attraction to commitment. I kind of needed to do three things. Show her how to attract her ideal man who is ready to show up. This guy's right there. He's got the tools. He's got the hammer. This guy's got nails. He's got 2x4s coming from Home Depot. Man, you better believe it. So, her ideal man is really showed up. And he's first place, man. He's going to teach her and show her a man that's a good building partner by setting standards. He's going to show her that way, that make him take her seriously. And that's where guys aren't taking women seriously. And women think it's around the corner. Oh, it's just that it's time, that this time he's not really there, or he doesn't like to talk about that, or he doesn't like to, he doesn't want to talk about love. He does mention like. Oh, sweet. Does he talk about deep like too? Boy, some women amaze me, truly. And guys amaze me too. How they can continue to lead women in like they do, but I guess it's the animal, and I'm not going to say I never did, but boy, I sure wouldn't want to be caught doing that now. So, you gotta take this whole thing seriously. You do, from the beginning. So, what you want to do when you're with someone, hand her the blueprint to create the most exquisite castle with her man that only gets more beautiful with age. And then I hear too, that girls go on dates with guys, and they get a feeling of this amazing connection. Oh my gosh, I'm like so connected. And then poof, kind of like the Men in Black, when they pull out the pen, put the shades on, and they say, "Hey baby, come here a minute, will you? You remember all that stuff I told you, and where we were at the Sybaris together?" For those of you that don't know what the Sybaris is, look it up, okay? But and then all of a sudden the guy disappears. Poof, he's gone. It's like he boofed you with the pen, the Men in Black pen, right? So and the question becomes, how can I spot the red flags earlier so that I don't waste time on men who won't commit? Am I a fool to stick around and hope that this casual fling turns into a real relationship? Is there something I can do to break this pattern of being just a hookup so that men take me seriously from the beginning? I'm in a committed relationship, but I'm afraid I'm settling. That's the other thing. A lot of girls get that thought, they got a commitment, but they're still ambivalent. I mean, they're out there. The jury's still out there thinking, am I lowering my standards? Is this the guy? Is she the one? But they ultimately become, excuse me again, they're afraid to settle. So, and the biggest excuse too is the thought of ending up alone scares them even more. When you have a different standard for how you live your life, and both the confidence and the competence, remember those two words, because if you're going to have confidence, you better be competent to enforce that standard. You attract a much deeper level of potential partner. You just do. You won't get this casual moron on either side. I'm sorry, Continue your self-worth and believing in your self-worth and your lifelong happiness by, not completing your personality, but claiming your attraction to them. Your time it's one of the things we lose and can never get back. Once that time is gone, you're done. It's done. It's done with you. And you're left with a memory. And pray to God that's a good one, because you gave a piece of your time for it, the most expensive thing you own. There's so many things that you may want to experience in this life with a man you love, traveling to incredible destinations, exploring your passions, and learning new things together. Seeing the awestruck look on his face or hers as you walk down the aisle toward him or her on your wedding day. You've been waiting to experience these things for so far too long. In one way or another, you've been settling for glimpses or fantasies of these moments with men who couldn't or wouldn't give you the happiness you deserve. Girls, ladies, women, wow, why would you do that? Why would you let that happen to you? It's time to stop settling. Frankly, it's time to stop. Stop wasting time. Darwin said, you know who Darwin is, right? We've all heard about this guy. The man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. And if you're like most women, in addition to your wasted time, you spend thousands of dollars a year on your love life. When you add up the dating app memberships and the countless first date outfits or the airline tickets that you spend to see the long distance guy, who still won't even call you, won't even call you his girlfriend. Shame, shame, man. There's a difference between spending money and making an investment. Attraction to commitment is an investment that you're making in yourself, your self-worth, and your lifelong happiness by claiming your attraction to commitment. I am not just waiting around for a man to decide that I'm worthy enough to settle down with. The love of my life starts now with me. I want the tools to know my value and create the relationship of my dreams with a man who deserves me. Check out some of my YouTube videos if you want to get maybe a little heads up on the tools. Okay. Excuse me again, and I apologize. Deeply do I apologize. But check out my videos at How Love Bites Dennis. And you'll find some of these tools out there and some other great videos. And you get some good laughs because sometimes I just can't hold back, So, but thanks for listening. I'm going to start throwing videos out to you guys infrequently because I am, using a police term, fleeing for my life. Because, when attempts get like 105 to 115, wow, I'm kind of losing my interest in the land of the sun. So I will be on the road. I will be relocating to a paradise unknown at this time. So it's always a pleasure. Oh my gosh, what a pleasure it is to even have one person listen to what I have to say. And if I help one heart from getting broken, or maybe a heart from recovering from being broken, wow, it's worth it. What can I tell you? It's kind of like being on the police department and you saved a life. And you did, okay? Not taking one, saving one. Because that's what policemen do. We save lives. It's not just the firemen out there, okay? Not that we don't get along with them.